Hi everyone, welcome to the Celebrity Diaries. Today I set out on an arresting excursion into the rich universe of Grady Request. Wilson uncovering the secrets behind his amazing total assets, investigating the extravagant corners of his chateau, and digging into the enthralling more that covers this puzzling figure. As a carefully prepared newscasting master, I've filtered through the layers of hypothesis to present to you an elite top in the background, where abundance, extravagance, and interest combine in a story that vows to dazzle and dumbfound Locke in light of the fact that we are going to unwind the charming adventure of Grady and demand Wilson more than ever. Grady Request Wilson is an American entertainer, writer, and minister who has a total asset of $2,500,000. Wilson is most popular for featuring as Lamont Sanford on the series Sanford and Son. He showed up in 135 of the show's 136 episodes close by Red Fox somewhere in the range of 1972 and 1977 interest, then proceeded to star in one time of a show, Got Back to Child, on CBS for which he was paid $1 million out of 1977. Grady Request Wilson was brought into the world in Valdosta, Georgia, on October 13, 1946. At 6 years old, the demon supplement burst and nearly killed him. Starting there, he promised to serve God as a grown-up in a service job. Right off the bat in existence, with his underlying introduction to performing at 4 years old and moving into a Broadway show by 12, he graced the famous Apollo Theater with his presence, establishing the groundwork for an enrapturing vocation. At the center of attention anyway, life veered off in a strange direction when Demand committed 2 years of his childhood to serving in the U.S. Armed Forces from 1966 to 1968. Injured yet unfazed, he got back as a profoundly Brighton veteran, typifying boldness and penance. Post-military administration Request consistently changed into the universe of diversion, making a permanent imprint on Off-Broadway. His ability is likewise transmitted on the little screen with essential visitor appearances on notable programs, for example, All in the Family and Mission. Unimaginable, it was 1972, and Wilson got the job that would characterize his heritage. Lamont Sanford in the momentous sitcom Sanford and Son. This notable series featured the unstoppable Red Fox as Fred G. Sanford, an irritable garbage deer exploring life at 9114 South Focal Road in the Watts neighborhood of Los Angeles. Lamont Sanford, the child trapped in the comedic turmoil of his dad's junkyard, takes advantage of the show as a pioneer by its own doing. Fred's migration from Holy Person Lewis to South Focal Los Angeles during his childhood made way for an extraordinary mix of humor and social editorial. Sanford and Son was a social peculiarity praised for its tense racial humor and critical expressions. Cue Fred's notorious large faker and running gags that became imbued in mainstream society past the chuckles. The series procured a case for its positive depiction of African Americans, assuming an urgent part in destroying generalizations about the African American population. The honors streamed unreservedly, with the show acquiring 3 early evening Emmy grants, remembering the lofty, remarkable parody series for 1973. Further acknowledgement came as 3 brilliant Globe Grant designations north of 6 seasons. Sanford and Son conveyed 136 episodes of unadulterated comedic gold, sending its status as one of the most cherished sitcoms of the 1970s. It has stayed well known in partnership, and it is viewed as perhaps the best sitcom ever. Busy taping episode. For the 1973-1974 season, Red Fox strolled off the show referring to medical problems. However, it was a compensation debate journalist passing move portraying Fox personality out of the leftover 6 episodes for that season at the core of the disunity. Tie was Fox's remuneration, a matter not to be trifled with. Until that point, the comedic virtuoso took a faltering $119,000 for every episode, a regal culmination. When adapted to expansion reflects a contemporary likeness, $130,000 per episode converted into yearly figures meant roughly a $500,000 in those days, an imposing $3,500,000 by the present principles. The conflict arrived at legitimate extents, with the show's creation organization countering Fox's takeoff with an imposing $10 million claim. The air cleared anyway as a goal rose out of the murkiness of the question. Fox arose triumphant, getting not just an expansion in his episode expense to $25,000 yet additionally a pivotal 25% cut in the maker's net benefits. This noteworthy arrangement not just cemented Red Fox's revisitation of the set, yet additionally launched him into the echelons of TV history as the most generously compensated entertainer of his time in the steadily moving scene of TV. The year 1977 denoted a huge crossroads in the entwined professions of Red Fox and Grady Request. Wilson Red, in an astonishing move, united with rival organization, ABC, for a theatrical presentation named the Red Fox Parody Hour. This essential shift, combined with declining evaluations for Sanford and Child, eventually drove NBC to reassess the famous sitcom. In the fallout of Sanford and Son's destruction, Red Fox expressed a desire for peace to Request Wilson, encouraging him to join another endeavor, the fleeting sitcom Sanford, which circulated from 1980 to 1981 anyway. Interest, because of reasons undisclosed, declined, the greeting preparing for a way untrodden in the pair's on-screen association. The situation started to get interesting with the disclosure from Est himself, who unveiled his mistake in finding Red's choice to actually head out in different directions from Sanford, not through an individual discussion, but rather through a journalist, regardless of the hurt interest, exhibiting an unselfish soul. Pardoned Fox for the break in correspondence. Their ways wandered, and a piercing gathering happened exclusively before Red Fox's passing in 1991. Out of 1,983, demanded a challenge to take part in a 50th commemoration unique to Fox. This experience anyway was brief, and denoted the primary gathering starting around 1977, notwithstanding the set of experiences they shared. After cautious thought, they decided to decline cooperation in the unique, avoiding the past, in the consequence of the drapery falling on Sanford and Child Grady. Wilson set out on another section, marking an important $1 million agreement with CBS adapted to the present norms. This monetary achievement reflects an amazing $5 million. The task that enticed him was the parody series Child, I'm Back, an endeavor that, in spite of the underlying commitment, unfurled into a solitary season. Undertaking containing only 13 episodes post-childhood, I'm Back Request kept on transforming the little screen from 1982 to 1983. He expected the job of Oscar Madison in the television series, The Odd Couple, displaying his flexibility as an entertainer. Later, from 2004 to 2005, he added profundity to the series Sweethearts with a common job as Kenneth Miles built up his perseverance through his presence in the TV scene. Past TV requests for an introduction to the true life domain were eminent, and his filmography flaunts jobs in motion pictures. For example, managing Or the Berkeley to Boston 40 Block, Lost Pack Blues, Full Moon, Jaime, The Youngster, and Hammerlock, each adding to the multi-layered embroidery of his vocation and individual life past the spotlight demand. Wilson arises as a really extraordinary man, utilizing his discipline to help worthy missions, especially those supporting the African American population. In 1995, he made a huge stride by establishing the Cause Association and rebuilding the House, a stage committed to having a constructive outcome. His philanthropy stretched out past simple underwriting, as confirmed by his appearances on Christian TV programs circulated on Trinity Broadcasting, showed his commitment by contributing a significant aggregate of a liberal $200,000 to the magnanimous asset over the course of the years, adding one more aspect to his assorted abilities. Wilson embraced the job of a writer, making Christian books and kids' writing. In 2009, he wrote a diary named Second Banana, a clashing diary of the Sanford and youthful years, furnishing perusers with a cozy look into his life process in the domain of individual connections. Wilson's story is one of getting through responsibility. Since May 3, 1974, he has been cheerfully hitched to previous model Cicely Johnston, and together they have raised a group of 6 kids as of the end of the 2023 Grady Request. Wilson, a carefully prepared entertainer, was appointed to serve nimbly. Embraces the age of 77, lolling in the solaces of an unbelievable life close by his family in a home that has been his asylum for almost 20 years. Arranged in Valdosta, his old neighborhood, this house, bought in 2003 for $400,000, has since been valued in esteem and is currently regarded at around $1 million. This fastidiously kept up with the dwelling place settled in the regarded Cherokee Ranch area. Thanks for watching this video.